Good morning, guys. It's very early here in Korea, and I had a little bit of an epiphany that I think will very positively impact our product. So as everything else, it's an iteration, and I think the thing that gave me all this idea is using the product, because when you use the product, you discover what's wrong with it and what you can do better. So let me just walk you through that. It started all here a few weeks ago when we said, okay, we have EXR, but we need to fix the texture optimization, we need to fix the bugs, we need to fix add PDF, image, text, scraping, Google Lens, walk nav, ability to do 3D recording mode, etc., and enable annotation panels and what we call knowledge panels there. But knowledge panels became today knowledge portal. So the idea of this, using the space and having things in the real life popping up, not just text but rich images. So that's how this whole thing started. And you can also have a sequencing. So the idea with Merge XR is to fix the invisible features, etc. So that's where we started. Let's move on. And then this idea with the merge panels came first as maybe we stack them on top of each other. Then we said maybe we do a panorama. We also played with the idea to put it on the walls. And then we put the idea to have it as a 3D or PDF on the floor. Now, the idea that stuck with me was this one, because if you start thinking about it, when you have this one, you can walk around in physical space when you create. I'll come back to this one. And of course, those are the things you can do. Google Translate, Google Lens, 3D objects, pictures, text, YouTube, PDFs, scraping. So the idea was kind of loose and goose. Then the idea materialized. Let me just see. I hope I didn't skip anything. Yeah, no, then the material came to this, to use those knowledge portals, not panels, but portals. So you can generate things in less than 5 minutes. And that came to this picture, which was the Schematic Workflow, as you may recall. You can see it. Now, nobody understood that really, so I had to do it in a clean way. So scan the object, take pictures, walk and talk. And then today, everybody in the sales team has done this in a painful way, or has to do it manually. So when you do this manually a couple of times, you realize that, wait a second, there's a smarter way. And the smarter way became this way, this picture. Now let's dive into the picture a little bit. So focus on user experience for both XR, Merge XR, and Spatial Meetings. Make it easier to create a realistic digital twin. How do you do that? Leverage AI. Google Lens, Google Translate, scraping, text-to-speech. Okay, so what is it you want to do automatically? Automatically generate your text, your memo, your voice, your translation, your PDF, your video, your quiz. And once you've done that, create everything in mobile AR. Use the chopstick to move things around, make annotation in 3D space, make knowledge panels in 3D space, and also add a T+ button for macro and micro context, 360 image, detailed 3D scan of a single object, and import 3D model. So what's gonna happen is you end up with a pizza slice. This is the pizza slice of the scan. Just a second. So it's your pizza slice, right? Inside there you'll have your different objects that you can create annotation with. You have your knowledge portal, not panel, you can have some singular annotations that you've done separately that you can place with the plus button, or import objects. And you can also put it in a context of a 360. Okay, so that's so far is where we were in the story. Now here comes a very interesting idea. So let's move on to this. This is what I'm so excited about. Okay, are you ready? This is going to be a fun journey. Let's go. So first, some of this is clarification, but no, just one. The first thing you want to do is to scan your environment. Perhaps multiple individual objects also, separate scans. So you do a scan over the full environment, then you do that with the whole model. Then you save it, the scan, on the mobile device. Okay. Then you open Merged XR, which is EON XR, but with a feature from XR on the mobile. Okay. Then you import your scan, 3D environments and 3D objects, and save as asset on the mobile. That's the symbol for import. Now you open the 3D environment asset in Merged XR AR mode mobile. Okay, that's interesting. So now you're looking through your phone in the merged environment. So now you point and hold the phone to the physical area where you want, where you scanned. So this is the scan, and you click an overlay, the overlay button. So there will be an overlay button there. So when you click that button, the digital gets automatically superimposed over the physical 3D environment. Some points may have to be selected. This is something Jan is working on and should come out in 2 weeks. This is super important because that saves a lot of time. Now you check the fit and see if you have many adjustments. Then you click on transparency button twice. First time you get the transparent model, and then the second time it turns invisible. You select, I don't know, this is the invisible man, this is that you cannot see anything, invisible. Okay. Now you turn your annotation and the physical environment, turn on the annotation. The only annotation you will get is the default annotation, which is called mesh. There's no other annotations. So now you have to create your annotations by holding the phone in AR mode to the object you want to annotate and snap a picture by pointing you can do this in different ways. My idea is to use the chopstick to the middle of, or the center of the physical object, and a frame appears around the object, and walk close enough so the object fits in the frame. When you snap the picture by double-clicking on the chopstick button, then Google Frame, which is integrated, Windows opens up to the side of the physical object, because right now you already have an XYZ coordinate for the object by the snap, because when you snap with the chopstick touches the object, which is correlated with a digital twin, which gives it a location. Okay, so that's already, the location is already fixed. So on the side of the physical object, something like this, you see the physical object, and on the side of it you'll start to see a panel, open up Google Glass. Google Lens, sorry. Mistake here, Lens. Okay, so Google Lens opens up. On the side, you can either interact with the window by simply walk into it, and that's the beauty. I mean, my first instinct was to open the window fully so it fills the whole screen. No, that's not good. The way is to open up on the side, floating window, and then you physically walk to the window, and this way you have a very spatial feeling. So maximize the Google on the Merge XR. It's not good. Okay, so the next step is scroll through Google's Lens images until you get a match with your real object. Okay, so you have a window, you put Google Lens, you scroll, you find meta match, and then you click on the object match. And when you click on the object match, the magic starts to happen. Why? Because now it knows the object, and immediately it can create, on this one here, on the carousel, it can create the image first knowledge portal frame. The first knowledge portal is generated immediately when you click on that, because you have an image. The image can pop up there, okay? A carousel with knowledge frames opens up around the physical object. Each frame is in AR space around the physical object in front of you. Each frame has a name and a symbol. So one is memo, one is voice, one is image, one is language translate, one is YouTube, one is PDF, one is locate, one is identify, one is quiz, one is add. What's this? This is called the add button. We'll come back to that, keep it in mind. And one is 3D recording. So 11 panels. Okay, initially the frames are empty and slightly gray out or translucent, so you can actually see your environment through it. However, as soon as you clicked on the object match select, the first frame, i.e. the image frame, lights up. So it kind of glows. A nice sound is triggered, and the selected image fills up the frame. So the image fills up your first knowledge portal. Next, you select the annotation name in the Google Lens frame by either highlighting the text in the frame with your chopstick, so you highlight and then you click on it, or simply by cutting and pasting the name, or by using your microphone, voice to text. So one of the three. We need to select the smartest one. It's pretty easy. Okay, so now magic happens. Your carousel frame windows come to life, bursting with rich media. Here's the happy geek Dan. It's like picking out the rabbits out of the hat, and you get this eureka moment. So what's happening now? Let's have a look. Essentially, we created the world's first Spatial XR Content Creation. So first time you can actually create content in a space, in a virtual space, by walking, using your phone, which I think is amazing. It's a little bit like picking mushrooms in a forest. So you have your panels here. You have your image, you have your memo, you have a voice, you have your translate, you have your YouTube, you have your PDF, you have your locate, you have your identify, you have your quiz, and you have your add button. So you're not, and what's happening is you walk the first panel, then you go to a second panel, and all you do is lazily select. It's like someone tries to sell you on your knowledge, and you say, not that one, but this one. Very intuitive, very easy, very enjoyable. Your knowledge portals become automatically populated. So there will be default on all of those, but you can scroll to them and select the ones you want. Okay. All you have to do is walk to each knowledge portal, point, location, and select. Image, that was already done, so you don't have to do that one. Memo, because you have the name of the annotation, the memo is using scraping technology developed by Dr. David to select the text. Okay, then we go to voice, recording something. Record something if you want. This is a vase from Greece. This vase here has blah blah blah. Or text to speech. Take something from memo scraping and get it to text to speech so you can talk. And select also which language you have. This is integrated Google Translate, so you can select 108 languages. Then you have a YouTube selected for you based on annotation name. So your YouTube is pre-selected, but you can scroll on which of the YouTubes you like. Click on the one you like, badum badam, automatically it's there. Then also you can get a PDF. You can import a PDF if you want. If you have selected, for example, a schematic of, let's say this is not a vase, this is, an engine. You have a schematic, you can import it, or you can just scroll through browse and select the one. Locate, identify, and quiz auto-generated. Locate because we know where it's located, identify because it knows the name, and quiz default will be what is this, yeah, and you multiple choices. Then comes the beautiful one, add 3D scan 3D objects or 360 for context. Remember, if we go back to, this one is interesting, so if we go back to the old discussion we have, let me just do that in a second here. So just a second. So the add button enables you to add either a 3D model, or it happens if you scan your 3D objects, you can add those objects that you scanned previously here. So they become overlaid. In this way, they can be highlighted. So even though it's only scans, you can actually break them apart and use explode. That's cool. Or you can select a 360 image for context, okay? So that's what that is all about. Okay, the next one is, so we talked about add button. So let's go to 3D recording. So 3D recording can be guided tour, step-by-step, or assessment. You have an avatar with highlights and path and sequence. Let me refresh your memory on that one also. So if you remember here, you have your 3D recording, the avatar is there, you're walking and talking, magic wand, you can have voice, you generate a path, you have highlight, can highlight objects now because objects are separated, so they will glow if you put a highlight on the 3 objects that actually are scanned. So when someone comes in, they will see them. And you can also generate a sequence, go first there, then go there, and go there. Okay. Going back here. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see what I missed. Now, the only thing you should say is that when the user comes into this, and that's the next experience, he will be getting choices. He can do one of 3 things. I'll just take you to that. He can either enter by exploring. So that's on one user mode. So you just go into the real environment and you explore. You go in from and click on each annotation. It opens up the knowledge portals, and you look at the knowledge portal and you learn. So that's like browsing. Or you go 3D guided tours. So that's the 3D recording. Or you can enter an assessment mode when you actually get questions or quizzes. So that's 3 modes that you can explore. I'll expand that a little bit further down the road. So in 18 minutes, guys, we got a product that I think will kick ass. I think this product, first of all, is groundbreaking, revolutionizing. It's easy to use. It's exciting. So this will make us a multi-billion-dollar company if we can act and execute and then match it with our sales. Let's do it. And more important, people will do the metaverse. Building starts now. So we'll crowdsource the metaverse, and we, EON, are the metaverse YouTube for knowledge.